What if I told you that the way most business owners think about productivity is actually going to make them less money instead of more money? This is because most business owners believe that productivity is getting more things done in their day. So they focus on time management, where they try to fit in as many tasks onto their calendar. Sure, you're getting more things done and tasks are getting checked off your to-do list, but you're making the same amount of money month by month because every dollar you earn requires your personal time into it. Now, what makes this problem even worse is that you keep on trying the same approach and solutions over and over again to try to manage your time better. You download productivity apps like Notion, Asana, Todoist, maybe Airtable, thinking that if you just get a little bit more organized, you'll be able to finally break through to bigger revenue months. You get excited about the new system, you get a little productivity boost, but then a couple of weeks later, you're still back to working 60 hours a week, wondering why nothing actually changed and why you're still not making more money in your business. I know this myself because in late 2023, I was hustling 12-hour days with perfect time management systems. I would do everything in my business myself, from creating content, booking sales calls, client delivery, you name it, I was doing it. Yes, I was productive, but somehow in order for me to scale my business, I always needed to work more hours. Now I'm able to operate my business in just 2 hours a day. And if I want to grow my business, I have the rest of my day to work on growing my business and not working in my business. And that's because I stopped focusing on time management on a surface level and instead focused on time compression, where I get multiple hours of work done in one single hour. Now, this completely shifted how I think about productivity and lets me make more money while working less hours. And this is what I'm about to share with you today. How can you make more money working less hours? So if you're working 60 plus hours a week, if you feel like if you take a vacation, your business will crash, and if you feel like you need to constantly work more hours to make more money, then this video is for you. Now, first, I want you to picture the following because I'm 100% sure you've probably experienced this as a business owner. You know that feeling when you have something important on your to-do list that you know with 100% confidence if you finished it or if you worked on it, you would make more money in your business. This could be launching a new offer, building a new onboarding system, or maybe possibly creating a new sales funnel. No matter what it is, there's one thing on your to-do list that you know would make you more money. Now, my question is, how many times have you found yourself not doing that one thing on your to-do list and then postponing it to the next day and the next day and the next day and so on until a week later or weeks pass by and you still haven't worked on that one thing? So this is exactly what's happening. So let's say this is your to-do list and these are the activities you need to get done every single day. So let's say one of the activities you need to get done is you need to check your email, you need to respond to messages, leads, and so on. This could be social media as well. So you check your inbound messages and you respond back. Let's say you have client calls where you deliver services and you help them out, you do your client calls. Let's say your client asks questions, or maybe you have a portal with community members, you answer the questions, you do that. Then you post content daily to get leads and so on. So we get that done. Now what happens is these activities are probably going to take a lot of your day. So by the end of the day, when you look at the activities that is actually going to grow your business, let's say these are launching a new offer, build an onboarding system, and create a sales funnel, you don't end up doing these activities and they end up unchecked. And what happens the next day, you put it on your to-do list and then these activities show up again. And what happens is every single day, you're just doing activities that is going to sustain the business. So I call these activities, they sustain the business. This could also be called busy work because it keeps you busy, but doesn't actually grow the business. Now think about these activities that they're necessary to get done. And the value of these activities is that it's going to be around $10 to $100 an hour activities. Okay. Now there's a big difference between these activities that will sustain the business compared to these activities that will completely grow the business. So I like to call these activities money generating activities, or MGA. Now these activities will significantly grow your business, and these activities I would categorize them as $1,000 per hour or even more activities. Because if you think about it, if you were to launch a new offer, you could maybe hit a new market segment, get new customers, new clients, you can make significantly more money. And this is what happens with many business owners. They end up checking off all of these things that is busy work to sustain the business, but they don't end up doing the things that will actually grow their business. So here's how this looks like. So if I were to map out the timeline of how a business owner would start their day and how they would end their day, it would look like so. Majority of their time would be spent on the activities that would sustain their business. And only small pockets of their time would be spent on activities that will actually grow the business or money generating activities. Now what happens when you look at this, majority of the time is spent on what's going to sustain the business. How are you going to find the time to actually grow the business and use activities that will actually get you to the next revenue target? It's very difficult if most of your time is spent on busy work. And here's the thing, you're not pushing off these tasks on your to-do list to the next day because you're lazy. You're pushing it off because you literally don't have the time to work on those because you're so busy working in your business. Now tell me you haven't experienced this before where you actually want to get something done on your to-do list, but you just physically can't find the time to get it done. And what's really frustrating is that you know that if you got it done, you would make more money, but we still don't end up doing it. So the question is why? Spending 80% of your time on $10 per hour activities is what keeps you stuck making the same money because of two major problems. If 80% of what's on your to-do list is $10 per hour activities, then you're just going to optimize organizing $10 per hour activities. No productivity system can actually save you if all you're going to be doing is continue doing $10 per hour activities. And like how I visualized earlier, if 80% of what's on your to-do list is things that is going to sustain the business, busy work, then you're just going to end up continuously doing that. What you really need is to eliminate $10 per hour activities from your to-do list completely so you can regain the time and energy so you can focus that on the $1,000 per hour activities and get those done so you can grow your business and generate more money. But where do we start if we're looking at the real issue here? Is that you need better time management or do you need a new productivity system or a productivity app? Let me ask you a few questions. If we were to take away all of the productivity systems, would we still be working doing $10 per hour activity tasks? The answer is probably yes. If you took away all the apps and calendars, would you still have the same types of activities on your to-do list that you need to get done? Yes. Then what's the real problem? The real problem here isn't the tools that you're using, it's how you use the tools and the thinking that you have. It's that you've been asking the wrong question the whole time. You've been asking, how can I manage my time better, when you should be asking, how can I eliminate the need to be managing this time at all? And instead, how can I just spend all my time on what is going to grow the business? So our goal here is to make a shift. Our goal is to go from spending 80% of our time on busy work to spending 80% of our time, or ideally 100% of our time, on high leverage work. And this is the core difference between business owners that scale their business and business owners that stay stuck at the same revenue level. To better explain this, let's say you want to progress your business. Your energy is limited. And your energy is going towards all these different directions. Okay, these are all the other things on your to-do list. Now, what's going to happen is, what if we removed all these activities here and we put in all of our energy into high value activities, the stuff that would actually grow your business? Well, you're likely going to make significantly more progress. So the thing here is everything should revolve on this one key concept. Our goal isn't to manage doing more busy work. Our goal is to remove the idea of needing to manage our busy work, get it off our plate, and so that we can regain the time and energy so we can spend all of that time on high leverage work. So to better explain this is what I would call time management, where we try to manage everything and try to fit everything into our day. Then instead, what we want is time compression, which is visualized like so. So we achieve time compression when we eliminate the need to do busy work. And we compress all of the times where we're sporadically working on high leverage work, and then we compress it all into one session, which ideally is around 2 hours. Now, when you do this, what's going to happen is you're going to be able to get multiple hours of work done. Let's say this business owners would take 8 hours to get done to grow their business. You could get it all done within 2 hours. So this is the powerful thing. And the next thing is you're going to get all this free time. So with this free time, you could either, one, enjoy it, take time off. If you want to go on vacation, you can. But ideally, if you want to grow your business, you'd do this. You'd then invest the rest of your time into building your business and spending more time into high leverage activities. So in effectiveness, you can get 3 days of work done, of what an average business owner would get done in a single day. Now, obviously, there's going to be times where you must do busy work. No business owner is completely devoid of busy work. So some of the day you're going to be spending doing busy work. But the thing is, we want to have the inverse relationship. We want to have at least 80% of our time is spent on focus work that'll move our business. And then maybe 10% to 20% of our day is spent on busy work or work that will sustain the business. Now, the obvious question here is, how do we actually remove the busy work from our day? Because obviously we can't decide to stop sending messages and stop responding to our clients and stop doing these other stuff. We still need to do that stuff to maintain the business so we make more money. Because if we stop doing that, then we basically lose our clients. We're not making money. So how do we do that? So how do you actually move busy work out of your day so you can experience time compression without having your business fall apart? Well, the simple answer is digital assets. A digital asset is a form of code, media or tool, they'll be able to take care of the lower leverage activity so you don't need to do it. Or if you have to do it, you can do it much faster than you were to do it manually. So let's say these are examples of some work that is taking a lot of your time in your day. Answering client questions, sales calls, or maybe client calls, follow up with prospects, and daily content that you need to post maybe on multiple platforms. So for each of these activities, we can find a way where we can implement digital assets to either finish it faster or to completely remove it. So let's say client question, you're getting a lot of client questions. One thing we could do is we could create a database with a frequently asked questions where clients can get their questions answered without you. Or another thing we could do is we could have an AI model that is trained on you, that knows exactly how you think and your exact frameworks, and we could have the AI model answer the questions for your clients. So instead of you needing to do it yourself, the AI does it. So let's say an AI model. So once you understand what digital assets are in your disposal, it gives you the power to then figure out what can I deploy that will do the work for me. Let's say sales calls. The sales calls are taking a lot of your time. A video, we could create a video training, or a sales letter, a VSL. And on the video sales letter, you can explain exactly what they're going to get in the program, so you do not need to explain it on the call. So that your sales calls turns into enrollment calls. So instead of spending 60 minutes or 30 minutes of a call explaining your offer, you could close a call in within 30 minutes or even 15 minutes. And then future, if you don't want to do sales calls at all, then you could switch how you give up the offer. You could do micro offers instead of doing a high ticket offer. People are more likely to buy without a call when the price is lower. So you can reduce the time period to get a result where you focus on one small problem where people are sold in. You sell on that, you deliver on the promise, and then you could then upsell them to a longer term offer that costs more money, and you could do it without sales calls because you just build trust. Most sales calls are there just to build trust, to convince someone to buy. If you could do that with digital assets, then that solves the problem. You don't need sales calls. Next thing, let's say, is follow-up. Let's say you're doing a lot of follow-up. So instead of doing follow-up yourself, manually sending messages yourself, what we could do is we could use a tool, let's say an email list, and on the email list, that will allow us to send one broadcast to many people and allow us to nurture many people at once. And we could also run sequences. So instead of us spending messages one-on-one, we could run campaigns that will get people to want to buy from us. Again, another digital asset that we could streamline things. Let's say daily content. Let's say creating content is taking a lot of time. So one way you could do to streamline the content, you could create a swipe file of your content templates that will help you create the content quicker. Another thing you could use an AI prompt to help you spit out content faster. Let's say you want to reduce the amount of content you can create. We could switch to evergreen video. So you could create YouTube videos instead of posting it on Instagram. There's many different ways you could think about what form of digital asset can I implement that will help me compress the amount of time it takes me to function as a certain part of my business or to get results. And this is exactly what I do with my clients. We focus on what are the things that's taking them a lot of time now, what digital assets can we implement that allow us to basically go from this to this. We're spending all this personal time and energy on all these things. How can we reduce this so we can spend all of our time and progress on what is going to grow our business so we can increase the revenue we make? If you like that, then feel free to subscribe to my channel and join my email list where I send daily insights on how you can make this transformation yourself. Now, what I want to do is I want to explain to you some live examples of how I use digital assets in my business. So let's hop on my computer. I'll give you a live demonstration. So in your business, there's going to be 4 types of digital assets that you want to implement. They'll be able to operate parts of your business in less time. Number 1 is marketing assets. Number 2 is sales assets. They'll do the selling for you. Number 3 is fulfillment assets. Will allow you to deliver to clients faster. And then number 4 is operational assets. So the first type of assets that I use for marketing assets is my YouTube channel. So every single YouTube video acts like a evergreen video that'll continue to get views for me over time. I consider this an asset because I can create one video and it adds to a sales library that people can watch throughout time. Longer form videos gives people more of a chance to learn more about what I do. They get sold about my exact approach to things and they're more likely to buy from me whether they're watching short form content. And then from my YouTube videos, as they get views, I capture the people that watch those videos into my email list, which I use a landing page. So people will put in their name and email and then they'll join my email list. And then on my email list, I would send a campaign or broadcast selling my offers. And as I sell these emails, what I do is I'd send them to a landing page where they could buy different sets of offers from me. I could sell consultation calls. I could sell a single digital asset. I could sell coaching. There's many different things I could sell to many people at once rather than me trying to sell one-on-one via messages or via sales calls. And then for fulfillment assets, what I use, I have an AI assisted chatbot that is trained on all of the assets I have in my business that I could ask it questions. So for example, let's say I want to ask AI, I'd like to phase out of sales. I'd like to phase out of sales calls. What would be the best way to do that? So when I do this, it'll open up this chatbot and is trained on my assets. So now clients or customers don't need to wait for me to explain to them. They could get help over here, and then they could basically reply to the chatbot. It will give them more specific information. So this is really helpful because now instead of me answering client questions or like taking a long time to deliver, they can get help this way. They can get stuff implemented themselves. Same thing with like digital assets. So like other things I need to get done in my business, YouTube videos, I have a prompt that allows me to do that. Let me show you how that looks like. For example, I have a YouTube script development prompt that goes through this, and then I could create YouTube videos faster. So previously it would take me like 12 hours to create a YouTube video. Now it would take me between 2 to 4 hours because I have digital assets allow me to build things quicker. So this is an example of a AI prompt helping me get work done faster. Relational assets are things that glue things together in your business, allow you to operate the business. So I use Notion for everything to manage my personal calendar and everything. I know in the beginning of this video, I mentioned time management, but what I have on my performance system is always activities that are going to generate me more money. And what this does, this allows me to house all of my prompts, my digital assets, and my workflows. So if I write an email here, I can take that email and then convert that into a YouTube script. So using systems like these does help you, but it needs to be done in a way where it helps you reduce busy work. So let me give you a quick walkthrough. By the way, I'm going to have more videos going over my full Notion system and how I use it, but I just wanted to show you an example how it would look like. So over here, I would have tasks that I would have every single day. I have no more than 5 tasks that I could manage my day. Then I could track the emails I sent. So all of the campaigns that I run, I could track all the emails. My YouTube videos that I'm going to be uploading, I could see a quick board of it over here. And then there's a lot of other stuff that I have here. I'm not going to go into it. It'll be like a super long video. I might have a video series on this on my channel. And then on the right side, I could check off some check boxes on my habits. And then I could see what campaigns I'm running. And then any quick access stuff that is helpful for me in terms of executing my business. Swipe files, prompts, everything will be on the right side just in case I need it to do things. So yeah, what this does, this allows me to reduce the amount of time I'm spending looking for things. You know, you might not know how to do a task. Me having it all available, visible to me, knowing exactly what I need to do every day, specifically high leverage work, only high leverage work on here. Busy work, I'll always try to automate it or streamline it with a digital asset. So yeah, those examples are the 4 types of digital assets you can implement. But the next question is, how do you actually start building this digital assets? So here's what I want you to do. Step number 1, I want you to identify your biggest time drain. So look at the past week. What is the one thing that is taking majority of your day? Is it client questions? Is it sales calls? Is it content creation? This is going to become your first digital asset target. Step number 2 is you want to focus on building 1 digital asset a week. So whatever that one bottleneck is, you want to look at what forms of digital assets can you implement, whether it's a swipe file for creating content, whether it's a frequently asked question knowledge base, or whether it's simply a dashboard or a database that you could use to help display information quicker so you don't need to give rundowns to your clients all the time. Maybe you're doing performance reviews, they can just see their performance on a dashboard instead of you sending them a review. And a tip here is start with a simple version. Don't start with the most complex version. Try to get a minimum version running so you can regain back time as soon as possible. Every single digital asset you ship, the more time you get back, the more time you can use to grow your business. Step number 3, test and improve. So get your digital asset running and see how it works. Can you improve it? Can you optimize it? Is it actually gaining you back more time? Is it actually performing at the level that it needs to perform so you don't need to do the task yourself? The goal here isn't perfection, it's just to get started. Start gaining back your time so you can spend it on growing your business. Now have everything it takes to go from 8 hours of work done down to 2. Your time compression starts today. So start by figuring out your first digital asset that allow you to regain back more time in your day. And if you want help implementing this process and implementing digital assets faster in your business so you can generate more money, you can go ahead and link in the description. I have some more information on there on how we could work together. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video.